All right, guys, we are back live. This is Talkin Hands. We're going to be previewing UFC Overeem versus Sakai. As always, I'm your host, Preston Ekdahl, joined by my co-host, Slaughterhouse1 on Twitter, Jeff Slaughter. Jeff, how's it going for the week?
What up? Doing good, man. Another solid week. Posted all my tickets this week. As you've seen, we've done pretty good. We're up a good amount of money, and we're going to carry that shit over into this weekend and flip that cash.
Yeah. Hopefully we got UFC card.
We can find one fight out of this card, maybe. This is a pretty rough run. Next week, we're going to Vegas. Going to be tough. That card looks like it's a shit show on wheels right now. I mean, it's pretty bad.
They just moved the girl, Angela Hill's the main event now.
I know. That's insane.
Watterson, yeah.
The first black African-American woman to have a headline. So that's kind of cool. A little history there. She makes some history. Anyway, let's get into this card because, man, honestly, I'll be honest. This card was kind of laid back, kind of like last week. I didn't have to do a whole bunch of tape study. I kind of knew most of these guys. We've seen them, so we didn't suffer from any stress or anxiety. I didn't have any insomnia from staying up late. Did you?
No.
And most of that's due to these guys over at Natural Heights. Go visit them, 1880 Nacogdoches Road. Give them a call if you're here in San Antonio, Texas. Natural Heights, 1880 Nacogdoches Road. Phone number 210-592-1060. Why don't you tell them about where we bet?
Yeah, and as always, guys, if you're going to bet with us, we bet on mybookie.ag. You can use promo code PUBSPORTS. If you have a minimum deposit of $99 or more, you'll get a 50% deposit bonus match with credit or debit card, and then a full 100% deposit bonus match with Bitcoin. So, as always, that's mybookie.ag, promo code PUBSPORTS. So, we can start us off here. We have Cole Smith taking on Hunter Azure. So, what were we looking at here? For
Hunter Azure comes in after a second round knockout from Brian Kelleher. He's sitting at the big favorite here at minus 245. Cole Smith catching the big points, plus 205, over and under 2.5, over minus 245, under plus 205. So I guess they're kind of telling us take the over maybe, because I guess what they're expecting is it to be more of play along with kind of more of these guys' two strengths, which is Azure's kind of a, he was a high school wrestler. A pretty elite one. I don't think he made it into college, but I do know that he has a wrestling background. We saw what he did his last fight. He's got power in those hands. Kind of telegraphed there, though. It's not like he's real slick with the hands or anything, but he does have power in those hands. What he is good at is his kicks. He can throw some heavy-ass kicks, and I think he can stuff some takedowns because we know what Cole's all about. One thing people allude to, well, Hunter got jacked up pretty much against Brian that second round.
Mm-hmm.
The first round, I thought he looked pretty good. He just gassed out that second round, and he got hit, and he got knocked out. He leaves his chin up quite a bit. This fight, Cole is no threat on the freaking feet, in my opinion, at all. Like, his striking game's pretty weak. Where he is good at is just kind of getting you in that clinch, dragging your ass down, getting you in that body lock, and just kind of riding your ass the whole way, like from the back. It's like backpacking you, kind of, looking for that sub. And it's kind of a nerve-wracking fight because, with Hunter's gas tank from last fight, we saw what happened. And it's not like he's the best Brazilian jiu-jitsu or, have any of that. He's just kind of a wrestler. So it's an interesting fight, man. But I think that I'm going to have to lean with Hunter here. I'm not going to bet it, but I'm going to lean with Hunter. I think he can put together enough. He needs this win coming off that pretty poor performance. And I just don't think Cole has enough of anything other than if he can kind of just control Hunter. But Hunter is physically pretty strong. So I think it'll be tougher than most people think. And I think he can ride out a decision here.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I think that this line is pretty shitty.
It's fucking shitty. It should be real close. I mean, a lot closer.
Yeah, I do.
It's almost a dog or pass, kind of, right?
Yeah, I'm going to tend to agree with you. I think Hunter Azure should win. He had a little more momentum going for his way. He had 2 good wins kind of in the UFC. Gets what, it's not like a step down competition, but a guy he should beat in Brian Kelleher. Fights Brian Kelleher, like you said, he had a great first round. Had a pretty decent sized bet on Hunter Azure. That was my best bet, I believe, for that card. And he just pretty much shit the bed. The second round, he gassed out. Kelleher was hitting him with some big bombs and just wouldn't stop. And it was just really tough. His opponent here, Cole Smith, like you're saying, standing, striking wise, I don't think he's that great. But he did control Miles Johns, who's a pretty good wrestler. But what has happened was when Cole Smith, especially was mid second round, he would come in and overcommit, and Johns was putting him on his back. If he does that, Hunter Azure could put him on his back and control him quite a bit. We have a guy here commenting, Etitet Monty, Hunter got bullied by little man Katona. Hunter gets pushed against the cage easily.
I know, and that's what I'm worried about. That's why I'm kind of like it's a dog or pass because
that
is true.
Yeah, and he's saying, so don't you think Cole Smith could do the same, but even a better job? Yeah, Cole Smith could control him. It's not, like Jeff just said, it's not a good betting spot for me at all. I'm going to take Hunter Azure. I think he has a little more upside. I think he can get him down, beat him up on the ground, and win a decision. But if he gasses out, but Cole Smith gassed out too. That's the deal. Cole Smith's last fight, he gassed out round 3, and Miles Johns just put it on him pretty bad, which secured him the win for that split decision.
Just from history too. I mean, Cole Smith has had the better cardio of the two. We can put that out there, but I don't know, man. It's a tough fight. I could see this fight just being kind of in a clinch the whole time, and
I'm
whoever
off.
gets on top is, or in Cole Smith's case, the back, because that's where he likes to ride. But
yeah, I'm off this fight from a betting perspective. I'm off this Hunter Azure guy. I think I was too high on him. The fight he had against Kelleher really soured me. And if he's as good as he should be, or I think the UFC thinks he is, he should get this win. But, we'll see. That's why they fight. I'm going to pass and hoping for a decent fight.
Just real quick, I do think that Hunter Azure's kicks are serious. And if he can get, those going, it's going to be a long night for Cole, trying to get in. So
right,
we'll see what happens.
So we can move on here. I believe the second fight is going to be Alexander Romanov taking on Marcos Rogerio de Lima.
Yep, Romanov comes in minus 145, de Lima plus 115, over and under, plus 130, over, under, minus 160. Wow. That's pretty interesting line. Man, this is kind of a weird fight because you got two different styles here, I guess. You got the heavy hitter with some heavy kicks, lots of power in those hands with Lima. And then Romanov is just going to come at you. He throws really wild just to get inside, basically, to drag your ass down. But he doesn't just drag you down. This kid will slam your ass down. He's a straight up, hardcore grappler, wrestler kind of guy. Pretty strong. Lima's strong too, but I worry about his takedown defense. I saw the stat earlier, 36% takedown defense. The guy gets on his back, quite a bit. And I'm like, man, if Romanov can just kind of outstand that first exchange, get in there and take this guy down, I really think he can use his wrestling to control him.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like that lean. And since I'm going to go with Romanov by decision, well, yeah, because I think Romanov will ride it out. He does have a pretty heavy ground and pound, but, a little bit lack of experience. That's kind of scary. But I'm going to lean Romanov here, minus 145. And I like the over, man, at plus money at over 1.5. I think that's a good side there. So I'm going to go over 1.5 plus 130 as well. I think Romanov kind of controls this, gets through that first rush by Lima, or, the exchange, and then gets the clinch, drags his ass down, controls it into a decision win, over 1.5 plus 130.
Yeah. I mean, so a lot, I guess that depends if Lima, I think, can get, I don't want to say control the first round, but if Lima can crack Romanov a little bit, because I agree, I think eventually Romanov's going to get him to the ground, and then it's just how fresh he is, if he can really put a beating on him. Because if you look at Romanov's record, it's littered with quite a bit of early first-round finishes, 36 seconds, minute 15, minute 37, 48 seconds, 50 seconds.
But it's a lot of trash, too, he's fighting.
Yeah. I mean, this is a UFC you would think. Again, we would think it's a higher level of competition,
Well, against DeLima, we know because he's had some experience and he's fought in some names. So
yeah, and DeLima, he's off a good win, and prior to that, he didn't beat, but he was beating up Stefan Struve bad in the first round of their fight. Second round though, he gets taken down pretty easily, and Struve just chokes him out.
And he had a
like
good,
it's nothing, yeah.
yeah, and he just had a good win, didn't he? Off
Yeah, Ben Sisoli.
That's right. Yeah, okay.
He knocked him out pretty quick. But yeah, I agree. I'm going to take Alexander Romanov here. I agree with you though. Seeing the plus 130 at 1.5 is pretty nice,
especially in his case, because if we're picking his side to win, don't you think it's going to be a decision?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a ground and pound.
At least a ground and pound, but
yeah,
I don't know, man. I just feel like, yeah.
I mean, especially with how the fight is lined, where it's kind of lined at a pick type deal, you think they're thinking DeLima's going to show some resistance, but I'm going to go with Romanov here. 145 is not horrible. We'll find another spot there. And
I like Romanov a lot, actually.
Yeah, and I agree if the over only sucks is you could have got, I mean, again, we didn't really look earlier in the week, but I feel like Romanov earlier in the week he was plus 150. So money's coming in on Alexander Romanov, but I think he's the right side, so it makes sense. Can move on here. Fight 3, I believe we have Montana De La Rosa versus Viviani Arujo.
Yeah, I've got that as the fourth fight, but let's just play that one out because it doesn't really matter. So Vivian comes in at minus 185. Montana comes in at plus 155, over and under 2.5, over minus 255, under plus 200. This is another tough fight, man. Kind of a different styles there where Vivian, we know she comes out very aggressive, has some good hands, speed, a lot of volume. I mean, she's going to come out aggressive, and Montana can get backed up, get hurt. But I do think Montana, if she can get past that, round and a half or whatever, it kind of leads into her favor with Vivian's history of the gas tank. And Montana has been working at their new gym with elevation. So, all those people are cardio freaks over there. They just have good cardio. And the wrestling, like Montana's got the will to be able to wrestle at the end. And we've seen Vivian get on her back quite a bit. So that worries me a little bit. But, man, I don't know. It's hard for me to either bet. And, y'all know my rule. I don't bet on women's MMA. I don't give a fuck who it is anymore. I'll never do it again. And that's just what I'm sticking to. With that being said, I have no fighting, dog in this fight. So I'm just going to go with Vivian here. I think she can get it done in the first 2 rounds.
Oh, wow. Finish.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's plus 200, but yeah. So, so as the listeners know, women's MMA is very unpredictable. Last week you saw it. Hannah Cypher's round 1 was demolishing Mallory Martin. Round 2 start, she gets put on her back and subbed out almost immediately. The fight we had Grasso in a parlay. First round, I thought was pretty tight, pretty close. Second round, she turned it up a bit, and she dominated the third round to get the win. Vivian Arujo, like you're saying, good hands, good striking, quick, fast, good movement. Again, that tires her out. We've seen her when she gets taken down. She doesn't really work too much to get back up on her feet, get on top. And if that happens, De La Rosa is going to control her.
Exactly.
And squeak out rounds, and she could win. Even if Arujo's, beating her up on the feet, De La Rosa gets a takedown with 3 minutes left and just lays on her. They're probably going to give the round to De La Rosa. That said, I think Arujo is good enough on her feet. There's a wide enough gap in skill on the feet that I'm going to take Arujo. This fight reminds me a lot of that Marina Rodriguez-Carla Esparza fight, where we had Rodriguez, a striker, who all she had to do was not get taken down. She kept getting taken down, and it was a wrap.
I don't think Arujo's necessarily a slouch. She has a Brazilian, black belt, jiu-jitsu black belt. She's a good grappler. She just, for some reason, ends up on her back a lot.
Yeah, she had a lot of hype coming in, and when you watched her fight, she's very good. She's very quick. We have a comment here. Does De La Rosa have good takedowns? Yeah, I mean, her game is kind of to to get inside clinch, get you down, and kind of control her.
She's got a strong clinch, and that's
Yeah.
where she brings down a lot of her, her opponents.
Yeah, so it's not really like shooting like a double leg takedown. It's kind of just get inside, clinch you up, take you down, control you, work a sub, and try to get the sub.
The difference is we know she's going to see a lot of stuff coming in because, Vivian's hands are so quick and everything. She's not just going to throw 1 or 2 punches. She'll throw like 4 or 5. Like,
yeah. I mean, if you could bet, which I mean, I think eventually books will have it. If you can get fighter that wins round 1, I would be shocked if Vivian doesn't win round 1, and then she can gas out and lose round 2 and 3. I just hate these striker grappler matchups because if the wrestler controls the fight, the wrestler is gonna win. Like it's
De La Rosa is a good dog. This is clearly a dog or pass on my thing, but I do side with Vivian here.
Yeah, this is another one, and with what we've seen with women's MMA, this is gonna be. Hate to be boring, but this is gonna be another pass for me. I do. If you guys been watching, I try to just stick with one fight, pick it, bet it heavier, win that fight, and don't worry, you don't have to bet the whole card. But yeah, I'm gonna take Vivian here to win a decision. If you like the under 2.5 plus 200 is not bad, but women's MMA, it's kind of tough to know that. So I'm gonna take Vivian by decision. Move on here. Andre Muniz taking on Bartos Fabinski. Interesting fight we got.
Very interesting here. Fabinski comes in at minus 165. Muniz plus 135. Over and under. Over minus 180. Under plus 150. That's 2.5, by the way. Over and under 2.5. What do you got on this, man? Because I'll be honest. I think this might be the first major dog I'd be willing to bet on.
Yeah, this was one I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, so it is at 185. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure what the weight was. So Fabinski was fighting at 170 for a while. He just fought, what's his face? The Stewart, the dentist. So he fought Darren Stewart. His last fight won. Prior to that, he was off for 2 years. And he's pretty much, I don't want to say lay and pray, but he's kind of take you down, control you, win the fight. Muniz, his Contender Series fight, he looked great. He got taken down. Hit a switch, got the back, got a submission, and then he fought more of a I don't want to say like wild striker, but more of like a well-known striker for his first fight back. And it was supposed to be like a firefight. He just kind of controlled the guy pretty good. The first round they fought pretty hard. Second, third round, used his jiu-jitsu, his strength, his size, and took the fight over basically. And he's good. I mean, he's 19-4. Has some good accolades, a lot of wins by submission, and not many KOs. But again, it's kind of be like the wrestler versus grappler. But even with that, I actually think Muniz standing can pose just as much of a threat as Fabinski. And seeing that line, it keeps going. I feel like it keeps getting wider and wider.
I think Muniz opened at 160 plus 160 or something.
Yeah, and I'm gonna, you don't like a car does. You don't have to bet a dog like at all, but I agree. I think Muniz definitely has the skills to win this fight. I think he can, it's just he can't accept being on his back, and I don't think he will with his jiu-jitsu accolades. I think he can get a switch, get on top, work for some subs, hit him with some vicious ground and pound, and I think over 2.5 is pretty much a lock though, and get a decision. But I'm gonna take Andre Muniz here. Yeah, the dog.
Yeah, man, I'm all over the dog, and I am going to bet this straight up. This will be one of my plays. I like Muniz. I think, the one thing that that I disagree with a little bit is I think he can be on his back because I've, watching him work off his back, he's constantly throwing legit submissions attempts. Constantly. He's not just accepting being on his back. He's always working. The reason he's always working because he's a true third-degree black belt. That's why you see so many submissions on his record. I mean, he's a straight-up third-degree black belt. That's straight-up legit. That's a real black belt. That's none of these guys that Fabinski has faced has that credential. So Preston alluded to Muniz also being the better in the stand-up. I agree with that 100%. I think not only does he have more power, but he's just better. Bartos doesn't really use his stand-up other than, like some spins, one shots, and some flying attacks just to kind of throw you off a little, just to kind of clinch up and get you down and sit there and lay on you. He's not really going to be working submissions too often, none of that. And he's going to struggle getting position and just laying there. So I like the only thing you, I guess, would worry about is Andre gassing out 100% and just then laying on his back. You don't want that. But if he's got the cardio to last and he's going to be working that jiu-jitsu, man, I'm all over him as a dog.
Yeah, then we have a comment here. Adam Monty asked, will size be a factor in this fight? Yeah, I think Muniz is definitely going to be the bigger guy. So it should theoretically be harder for Bartos Fabinski to get him on his back. So he should, like I said, I don't think he's going to gas out. But if he really struggles to get him on his back, he might tire a bit. And then if he starts eating shots on the feet and he keeps going for that takedown, maybe Muniz, stuffs him a couple times and eventually gets a switch, gets his back,
and Muniz
some subs. So.
Muniz has surprisingly good offensive takedowns as well. Like he shoots for him too. He's not shy to do that. But he, right away we're gonna see homeboy come running out and try to get that control and slam Muniz down.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see that instantly. So we'll probably see a takedown right away. And then I think Muniz will just start working that jiu-jitsu, man, and get it. I think he's going to get that sub. But even if it does stand on the feet, man, Muniz has the power, dude. I'm telling you, this is a good dog. I really do like this bet.
Yeah, I think the only way you lose this bet or fight is if Muniz just keeps getting taken down at will and then just can't get out from underneath the guy. And Fabinski wins a decision, which could happen. But, you never know. So, move on here. That is it for the preliminary card. So we're going to move on to the main card.
Quick shout out, by the way, MMA Fat Fist.
Boston
Nick and Mo Scream will be doing the prelims all day tomorrow from early till when we come on. So, we come on at 8 main card?
Yeah, I think it's 8 tomorrow. Yeah.
To flip that cash. That's our segment. We flip the cash. We try to roll over our bets. We're trying to hit our $10,000 mark. Gotten there close a few times, but I think we've been smart the last 3-4 weeks, so we're actually making some progress. So let's keep moving forward, man. We got in the main card. This is where we're gonna have all the action, probably.
Yeah, and we got Razor Sharp Picks in the chat. What's going on, Razor? Great show today. Hit some good horses. If you guys want, you gotta follow Razor Sharp on Twitter. His Twitter's at Razor Sharp Picks. He comes on Pub Sports Radio here for us. Does some horse racing live streams. If you followed them earlier today, they had a pick 4, $1 hit almost $1,000. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's a great hit for him. Tomorrow's Derby Day. I think we're going to be at Rotama here in San Antonio for the Derby. And, I'm sure we'll get some picks from Razor for that. And as always, if you're betting, you can bet horses, fights, whatever. Go to mybookie.ag. Enter that promo code PUBSPORTS. Make a minimum deposit of $99. You will get a 50% deposit bonus match on your credit card or debit card and a 100% deposit bonus match on all Bitcoin deposits. That's mybookie.ag, promo code PUBSPORTS. So we can go main card here. We open up Jalen the Tarantula Turner taking on Thiago Moises.
Thiago Moises comes in at -150. Jalen Turner +120. Over and under 2.5. Over +120. Under -140. Man,
that line went down a lot.
Yeah, and these overs are crazy because you don't see overs too often with plus money. I kind of like this over, to be honest with you. I know it's risky here because it could go either way with the sub or Jalen knockout, but I'll just shoot from here, man. I think Thiago Moises is way fucking overhyped. We saw what happened his last fight. He was getting fucking destroyed. All his fights, he gets destroyed. It's just the truth. Mm-hmm. The guy's small compared to Jalen. Jalen's got a huge fucking reach. And, and Jalen's not by any means that great either. He has a ton of issues, but the thing is, he knows how to use his length really fucking good. And I think that's going to be crucial, key to winning this fight here, because you do not want to get on the ground with Moses. Obviously, he's, an elite black belt, sub guy. He has some decent kicks, and he has okay striking, man. We just don't see it because he doesn't throw enough. He's always shooting. The thing I don't like about him is he shoots from a mile away. Like he just does. And what he did last fight, getting that heel hook. I mean, fucking Michael Johnson has 3 heel hooks on his fucking record. And it's just insane that he's the one guy out of everyone in the world that would get fucking caught like that. But I'm going to use Jalen Turner, man. I don't think he makes the same mistakes. I think he has probably, the length advantage, the better striking, the all-around MMA game, the wrestling. And it's not like he's just going to get thrown down and tapped out right away. The dude's going to scramble. He knows how to scramble. He's not a dud. He's fought in some good wrestlers before, so he's got experience, and I like him at a plus 120. I wish I would have grabbed him earlier, but, it's nothing I'm going to throw my fucking mortgage on, but I'll definitely take the Jalen Turner plus money.
Yeah. So last fight, we were on Michael Johnson against Thiago Moises. I think I overrated Thiago Moises' stand up because I thought he could have a decent enough showing against Michael Johnson, but watch the fight. First round, he got controlled and beat up pretty bad. Second round, I don't know what the hell Johnson's doing. Kind of just gets in there. Moises gets an ankle pretty quick, and then he taps out, 20 seconds later. That could happen here again with Jalen Turner. But Jalen Turner, like Jeff just said, super tall, super long, super rangy. He just can't let Moises get in on him, clinch him, and take him down.
I am worried about that. I'll be honest. That's why I probably wouldn't bet this fight. But
and you so Jalen Turner was plus 200 2 days ago.
Yeah, I know.
So and now my bookie's showing plus 120, which is pretty crappy. I mean, again though, when you bet, you're not betting. There's value, I guess, but you're also betting to win the fight or like who you think's gonna win. And like Jalen Turner definitely has a path to victory. Stuffs the shots, stuffs the takedowns. Hit someone some big knees. He can even hit him with a knee coming in. But if Moises gets inside on him, clinches him, takes him down, Moises' jiu-jitsu, he has a huge edge there. And Turner had struggled with Matt Frivola.
Yeah, but Frivola's a way better wrestler than freaking.
Yeah, he's more of a wrestler, yeah.
Way better. Not even close. Like, yeah. I don't know. I think he's just thicker, too. He's stronger. Like, he can slam people down.
Yeah, and Turner, and then me and
so I was looking at that fight right before I left, and I was the one that was like, man, well, he got kind of used here, but Frivola's a serious wrestler, and he's thrown around a lot of people.
Yeah, and he's fighting Roosevelt next week.
And Roosevelt's the same type of dude, like a tall, lanky.
Yeah, Jalen Turner, yep. But yeah, this is a tough fight because I don't want to say it's almost screaming, you have to take the dog just because of his stats and stuff, because he has he has that good, solid one punch, like one kick type knockout power. His last fight, though, he was fighting a blown up 145er, so he just killed the kid really easily. Moises has been in there, pretty tough. Like Moises has had a lot of, tough fights. He's fought in the UFC for a while. It's tough. But
let's see if you could play this angle before you tell your answer. If you think Turner's going to win, it's going to be probably KO decision.
Yeah.
So KO, $100, you win 300. By decision, you win 500. Moses by sub is plus 175. That's the only way Moses wins this is by sub. He's not going to win a decision. He's not going to control Jalen. He's not going to sit there and just control him.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way.
Yeah, I mean, if I even had to bet Jalen Turner, I would take that KO prop.
Plus 300.
Yeah, I think because at plus 120, but again, it's a prop.
Well, what I'm saying is if you laid 100 on Jalen Turner by KO, TKO, and then 100 on Moses by sub, your chances of winning are probably pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and they're saying under 2.5 minus 150. We have Nick in the chat here. What's going on, Boston Nick? We'll be seeing you tomorrow. So that's cool. That's great. Man, yeah, this is a tough fight because this is just like the last fight where I liked Moises and I went off him and took Johnson, but the fight showed me nothing to really back Moises again because he literally got dominated for a round. Then he got that sub, and Turner's the longer guy, but
he's not just longer. Like he's 7.5 inches longer. Like his reach is huge, man. And it wouldn't be a big deal, but he does know how to use his length well. Homeboy shoots from a mile away. Turner got these huge knees he can throw up.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
knees, the kicks. I mean, he
like,
was in a firefight with
yeah.
Vicente Luque.
That's the only thing that kind of like, because if he was a lanky guy that just gets taken down a lot, you know, like a Pena, like a Bob fucking Violent Pena,
Yeah, Luis
you know,
Pena,
shit like
yeah.
that against Kama Worthy, like that kind of shit, I would be kind of nervous. But I don't think Thiago Moses has that, man. He's gonna shoot from a mile away and try to just like drag you down as opposed to explode into you and like fucking take you down, you know. I don't know.
So we got Gabriel Killian saying to take Moises by sub. This fight won't be on the feet. Mo's in the chat saying what's going on. Yeah, what's going on, Mo? Yeah, I mean, I think we agree there. We think if Moises wins, it's going to be by sub.
Yeah.
But if it does stay on the feet, Turner should have a just pretty clear advantage. I'm going to take Turner by KO round 2. I think that's what I'm going to go with. And then if Moises screws me again, he screws me again. So
yeah, I don't think Moises is fucking UFC level, dog. I just don't. I think he's kind of way overrated here.
Yeah, I thought so prior to the last fight, I thought he was really good. Then that last fight, again, it's just one fight, but he looked awful against Michael Johnson. He did. And then Johnson just, I don't want to say put himself in that submission, but he got that ankle lock and tapped him out. So yeah, I'm gonna go Turner round 2 KO. Plus 120 is not great odds, but I think Turner has enough advantages to get it done. We move on here to the short notice replacement.
No, I don't think it is it?
Kelleher versus Navidad.
Oh, okay. Navidad. Okay.
Yeah. We might have seen Ray in there, but
man, yeah.
Navidad is fighting Brian Kelleher.
I heard that. Yeah. Okay.
That's the next fight. Yep.
Okay, so Brian Kelleher comes in at minus 220, Navidad plus 180, over and under 1.5, over and under 2.5, minus 115, under minus 115. What do you got on this, man? This is kind of clear cut for me.
Yeah, so Mo, we got Mo in the chat. What's going on, Mo?
What's up, Mo?
The shirts you can get at pubsportsradio.com. Click the merchandise tab. That is where our shirts are. Pubsportsradio.com. Merchandise tab is where you can find all our merch.
We got some cool ones coming and some more ideas coming with hopefully Nick and Mo, and we're gonna get some shit rolling here.
Yeah, for sure. This is so the total in this fight's pretty interesting that they're putting like a pick 'em out. I guess Kelleher is kind of more of a, I don't want to say he's not a sub or bust guy because he has knocked some people out. But I would think this fight's going to go to decision, personally. So Kelleher's last fight we saw against Cody Stamen, where a lot of people were on Kelleher, because Kelleher is a good, tough vet. Navidad, he's moving, not up, but moving into the UFC from LFA. He looks like he has good kicks, solid overhand right, moves pretty quick. So, maybe he's going to try to kickbox Kelleher. Kelleher's a tough vet where he hits with huge power. He can, control you on the ground. He has a nice guillotine. And it's just, it's I don't know. I really don't want to say I can trust Kelleher at minus 220. But when the UFC brings in debut fighters, I tend to fade him. I'm going to fade him here. I'm going to take Brian Kelleher minus 220 by decision. I would personally rather take Kelleher by decision. Maybe you can get a decent line. Because Navidad, I don't want to say he's KO or bust, but in the LFA fights, he was just moving in and out really quick, but hitting this guy with some heavy leather, and eventually the guy just went out. Kelleher won't go out like that. He's just too tough, and he can take a punch, and he can give 1, 2, 3 back, make it a grind, dirty fight, and get it done. I'm going Kelleher by decision. And that's where I'm at.
And Kelleher kind of looked like shit his last fight, didn't he? He
fought
that?
Cody Stamen.
That's right.
Stamen's a really good wrestler.
Yeah, but Stamen came out and looked like shit the fucking week at the fight after that. So who knows? But yeah, man, this is tough because you do have a very good submission grappler kind of guy. That, and then you have Navidad, who's kind of the more boxer wrestler kind of guy. But I don't know how much experience he really has. I haven't done a ton of research on Kevin, but I do know he does like to move forward. He's got good head movement. He cuts angles well, and he has good body shots. So maybe he has a slight edge in the boxing department. If he tries to wrestle, though, you always got to worry if he slips up, with the, position, and Kelleher gets that guillotine. And Kelleher's takedown defense is pretty fucking good. So I don't think there's going to be a ton of grappling here, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be kind of more of a boxing match. In the boxing match too, we know that Kelleher, we know his cardio, it's pretty elite. And he's a very durable guy. So just for that alone, man, I think you're right. I think he can stretch out a decision here. I think he's just durable enough, and he's just a vet, a true vet enough to get the job done.
Yeah, I agree. I think Kelleher's just too good to not lose this fight. And I'm gonna take a little segue here to address some of these quotes by Coach Mike Budenholzer. Coach Mike Budenholzer just said, "We are playing Giannis and Middleton at max 35 minutes a game. That is pushing the limit for how many minutes Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton can play in a game. People, you're down. Coach, you're down 3-0. You have the MVP playing 35 minutes a game. What the hell are you doing? You watch the game. You're getting out-coached left and right. Giannis is wobbling. He's getting beat off the dribble by Jimmy Butler. Butler's going to the hoop at will, passing to an open Jay Crowder, open Tyler Hero, open Duncan Robinson. There's raining threes on you left and right. You're going to get fired after this year. It's a joke. Bucks are going to get swept. You got to get rid of them. Giannis is leaving. Just awful, awful quotes here from Mike Budenholzer, who also is saying we won 6 quarters in a row entering the fourth quarter tonight. Guess what? You lost the fourth quarter 40-13. Who cares that you won 6 quarters in a row? You're down 3-0.
Dude, yeah, I agree with you, man. I don't bet on basketball either, dude. I fucking hate the NBA. If I do bet on basketball, it's college.
Yeah, I mean, it's just awful. Just awful coaching, awful game plan. Just very irritated with the Milwaukee Bucks there. But we can move on here. Next fight. What are we looking at? Oh, we got the Wild Man, another guy who I don't think either of us enjoy watching, Michel Pereira.
The clown show.
Yeah, taking on Zaleem Amadev.
The other clown show that's always grabbing points and hitting people in the nuts and shit.
Yeah, so we got this. This is a great segue.
We saw what happened in the beginning. Homeboy reached across and slapped Pierre in the face, like on the weigh-ins. You see that?
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. No.
Pierre kind of he whispered something in his face, and Zaleem just fucking slapped the shit out of him.
Wow.
It was awesome, dude.
Good. Yeah, I can't stand this guy.
Yeah, I hate Pierre, and just for that reason, I'm fading him. Dude, he might get a fucking first-round knockout with the stupid bullshit, but I think Zaleem's tougher than that, man. I think he'll fucking outlast Pierre's ass who gasses out. I mean, dude, you're pizzing up Diego Sanchez. You can't even finish him. Like, come on, dog. I can't take this fight, but I will take the over, -160, over 1.5. Everyone thinks this is going to be some kind of big knockout, and Zaleem can knock out Pierre too, man. I mean, he does have some power in those hands, but he is sloppy with his stand-up.
Yeah, he came in with a lot more hype than was warranted.
Yeah, he's real sloppy with stand-up, but he can get those slams, drag Pierre down. Pierre scrambles well. He's, we've seen his strength. He's kind of a pretty athletic, guy, likes to do all that cartwheel and fucking jumping around bullshit. I can't get behind that shit. His whole dancing coming out and all that ruined it for me. And I'm going Zaleem here just because I want someone to beat Pierre's ass. But I won't be betting this. I'll be watching it. I do. If I am going to bet, I'm going to take that over 1.5. I think it's a sneaky good side. Zaleem controls this fight, kind of makes it more in the clinch, grappling type game, and try to gas Pierre's ass out.
Yeah, I love that prop if you have it. Will he do a backflip +300?
No shit.
You know he's going to do a backflip. He always does a cartwheel or a backflip. Yeah, Pereira. So Pereira comes to the UFC, gets a huge, flying, awesome win over Danny Roberts, knocks him out, knocks him down a couple times, and just knocks him down. Looks like $1 million. So next fight, he gets Tristan Connolly, a grappler. Connolly moves up in weight. Pereira gets taken down at will, controlled, dominated. Next fight, he fights Diego Sanchez. He beats Diego Sanchez up pretty much the whole fight. Hits him with an illegal knee. Diego's knee's on the ground.
Kind of bullshit, though. Ref could have let that slide.
Well, Diego kept asking, no.
Diego kind of got up, and it was real kind of questionable.
Yeah,
it was close.
Yeah, it was crappy because, Pereira would have won the fight. And unfortunately, they said illegal knee, Diego gets the win, so he's off 2 losses. Zaleem's also off 2 losses. Zaleem's a guy I actually thought a little higher on because prior to joining the UFC, he had these electric finishes, looked like a beast standing. He comes in the UFC, they give him a guy who, if you're so good standing, you should be able to knock out in Max Griffin. Though Max Griffin's gotten a lot better, tougher, takes a punch, looks good. So he loses that fight. Next, he fights Hot Chocolate Roberts, gets knocked out there. Zaleem hasn't shown me much of anything. He really hasn't. So I just have to go with Pereira. My issue is Pereira could gas out. I don't think he's a great fighter, but he does have explosive tendencies, hard kicks, good knees. It's just he bounces around. He does that weird. It's not even like a stance, like the way he moves and stuff. That it's just awkward, but it can get in your opponent's head if you don't think about it. Because Zaleem does have heavy hands. It's like even against Hot Chocolate Roberts, he was hitting him with some heavy hooks, decent uppercuts, just couldn't get it done. I'm going to take Michel Pereira here. I kind of agree with Jeff, though. Over 1.5, minus 160. It's not a bad look. Especially if they start off a little slower, you're in good shape. But if they come out and actually try to do like a firefight, I think the UFC matched these guys up to make it a firefight.
Yeah, and I am a little worried about that after what I just told, at the weigh-ins. I was just thinking about what happened and all that shit. And I think if anything here, it's kind of weird because Pereira's clinch game is what I was talking about earlier. It's a little underrated. So
he's a big guy too.
Yeah, and that's what I get worried about. Like
guy.
He kind of what he did to Sanchez, he clinched him a lot against the fence.
Yep.
And if he does that to Zaleem, can drag his ass down. Zaleem's, I think that he wants to strike in this, because that's kind of what he does. But I get worried about that because I do think, and I might have misspoke earlier, but I do think Pereira is the one that wants to make this more of a grappling fight, get in the clinch, kind of play that game, drag his ass down and maybe control him. But Zaleem, I don't know, man. This is a tough fight for me, but who I'm fading.
Yeah, I'm going to take Michel Pereira to win this fight, but we'll see.
You're taking Pereira.
Yeah, I think he has a little more skills because Zaleem has shown me nothing. Since he's joined the UFC,
which is weird because he, like you said, when all the videos and everything, his fucking shit is exciting. He's got all kinds of spinning back knockouts and spinning back fists, and
then
all kinds of crazy shit. He gets here and does nothing. So maybe that's a little scared factor too, or
right? Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
So move on here. Co-main event. This fight got moved to this show. OSP Ovince St. Preux taking on Alonzo Menafield.
Yep. And Alonzo Menafield comes in at minus 130. OSP, even money now. Over and under 1.5. Over minus 130. Under even money. Tough fight. Another tough fight, dude. Because the only reason in my head it's kind of tough is Alonzo Menafield's gas tank, because what we saw from last fight. I had $3,900 riding on Menafield. I was excited as could be when he knocked down Clark, and somehow, some way, fucking like on the drop of a dime, Menafield, his arms he can't pick him up no more. Like he's just completely fucking gassed.
Right.
The rest of the fight was just him basically stuffing takedowns, which is crazy because as tired as he was, and as good as a wrestler who I think has even a better wrestling background than OSP, as tired as he was, he still only got one takedown that entire fight. And that shows you Menafield's sneaky good takedown defense. He's got a very good takedown defense. So, it's hard to take his ass down. I don't think this fight can last with OSP just standing. I think Menafield, standing will knock his ass out. OSP, I know everyone likes him by sub. I just don't see it, man. I don't think OSP with the second time now, the weight cut. I don't think his grappling's as good as Menafield's takedown defense has been. And I don't know, man. Menafield looks very good and motivated. So I'm going Menafield, and this probably will be my best bet because it was going to be 2 weeks ago or whatever.
I think it's 2 weeks, yeah.
And that got canceled. I even put it out on Twitter, so I'll just roll with it, go back to the well. And I like that minus 130 Menafield.
Yeah. Shout out Chris Johnson. Thanks for the support. Gabe says OSC, Ovince St. COVID or COVID St. Preux.
Yeah, right. Because
Yeah, and yeah, Gabe, you're kind of reading my mind here. I agree with what you just said there. With Menafield by KO is the most likely outcome, because yeah, so OSP his last fight moves up to heavyweight, takes on Big Ben, and theoretically you're thinking this should be an easy win for OSP. Use your speed, get in and out, beat him up standing, win the decision. Instead, OSP, I think he had one good round. It wasn't even a good round because he barely threw any shots. And Ben just clinched him up against the cage, just bombing on him.
His best round was the last 2 minutes of that fight.
Yeah, he knocked him down like I think twice, maybe once or twice. Yeah, he hit him with a couple big shots, but he was just content with Ben just holding him. And Menafield is he's going to be a
beast.
lot more explosive, and that's my worry if you're backing OSP, because if OSP can't just not style on him, but just get in and out, use your hands. Obviously, you're not going to take down Ben because he's so huge, for OSP. But if you can't just get that speed advantage there, now you're facing a very good athlete, a quick guy, someone who can just get in and out, hit you with bombs, hit you to the body, potentially take you down, even though, he doesn't really shown that, but he could maybe in this fight, especially if OSP gasses. I got to take Menafield because at first I was kind of, when we first did this fight, I was kind of not on the fence. I was like, I don't know really who's going to take this one. Now I'm kind of with you. I think Menafield's not safe, but according to Billy here, I think Billy's pretty safe with Menafield when he's saying he's going to throw him in with a parlay. Billy's going to do parlay Menafield Kelleher. So
I like that. Yeah. I love fucking Menafield. I just think that he looks better. He's come out better. He's even said on tape he took his last fight lightly. He didn't finish when he should have. That should have been a W. He didn't get the job done. He gassed out completely. I don't know if he makes the same mistake. Even if he does, OSP's gas tank no fucking thing to ride home to. The motherfucker gasses all the time. Like, and then his weight cuts back and forth, up and down. Last 2 weeks or so, he's had 2 different weight cuts, I think, or
right.
And it's just 37 years old. You got to wonder about his chin. I don't know, man. I don't see him doing well. I think it's another KO too.
Yes. Thank you, Greg. Best of luck to you too with your picks. Gabe, I agree. I do think Kelleher's a little wide with his line. 220 is quite a bit, but he's facing a debut fighter. Just something I tend to do unless the debut fighter looks great is I'll fade him. Gabe, 2K on Romanov, plus 105. Nice.
I like Romanov too, man. He's one of my other high ones.
Yeah. Romanov, he should get it done.
But he's gonna slam around Lima.
We move on to the man of the main events, it seems, every 2 months. Alistar Overeem. If it's an ESPN Plus card, you gotta see him on the main event. Taking on Augusto Sakai. Sakai's been on a little run. This is definitely his toughest competition. Can he get it done? What do we have for a line here?
So you got the world class one and only Overeem coming in at minus 165 versus Augusto Sakai plus 135, over and under 1.5, minus 195, over under plus 160. It's funny because Overeem's probably the most famous person in the UFC. Like, everyone knows Overeem.
Yeah,
like he is, dude. He's been around the world.
It just seems like he
worldwide.
Fights. Like I said, he fights so frequently. And
he probably is like one of the all-time best freaking fighters for sure. Like, he's got to be top 5 for sure. I would say so.
Like, just like known,
just all time, just period. Like with skill stats and everything.
Yeah. It just sucks that he hasn't gotten like the title, but in the UFC at least.
Yeah, no. Well, he's won 4 of his last 5, so this is his truly last run at it. I mean, he's 37, 38, I think I saw.
Overeem's fought forever. Yeah, he's 40.
Yeah, so 40. Jesus. Okay, I'm looking at fucking OSP still. Yeah, man. So you worry about that, but he's kind of a freak of nature. Y'all saw what happened when his lip split up, dude. He healed, they said, in like 12 days. Like, he looked like a normal dude again. So he's some kind of freak, man. And he's just all around. I mean, let's be honest, dude. He is all around a better MMA fighter than Augusto. Period. I don't care what you say. Skill wise, he's all around because he just when he starts going off, like there's no one better than the guy. But you worry about his chin. I mean, he's been knocked out a shit ton of times. I think I counted like 14 or 15, 16 times in his entire career. So that's kind of an issue. You worry about his age. And I just kind of worry about, because we saw what happened with Walt. You know, Walt blitzed out there pretty quick, clipped him right away. I don't think we worry about that with Augusto. We've never seen him just fucking rush out there and throw a high volume anytime, ever.
Yeah, the only guy he knocked out quick was Tabura.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tabura gets knocked out a lot.
Tabura's not that good of a fighter.
And the thing with Sakai is, what I do like about him is he's in great shape. He's I just was reading that he's a true runner. Like he runs, so he's in good shape, believe it or not. He's been running for a long time. Yeah, he has great, hard, solid kicks, man. And he's just a good calculated fighter. Like I feel like everything about him's calculated. He's nice and cool. You don't ever see him get like emotional in there. And he's tough as nails, dude. When's the last time you ever seen him get fucking faded?
Yeah, I mean, we had Sakai against Ivanov. He won, I believe it was a split.
And that was close. That could have been, I know he won, and it wasn't really close because Ivanov wasn't doing much.
Yeah, it was because there was like the fence grab he had where Ivanov tried to take him down, but he grabbed the fence, and then Ivanov couldn't get him down.
That's right.
And Sakai just, peppered him. I think it was the third round to secure that round to win the decision.
But I just try to think back. I'm like, dude, this guy's never been really rocked, so he must have a fucking pretty solid chin, because I don't recall him ever getting dropped or even getting KO'd for that matter, or even faded. I mean, so that scares me. But Overeem, you think with the wrestling, I think he uses that to get a victory here. I think he has to. But man, I'm worried, man. I'm not worried necessarily about the volume. I'm just worried about the because Sakai is not going to come out here and out volume your ass. He's just not that kind of fighter. But let's hear what you got to say, man. This is probably the toughest fight I've had in a while.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what Gabe just said. He said, another fight I am keeping my wallet away from.
That's what I'm thinking, man, because this is fucking tough. And I don't want to fucking choose against Overeem. I love Overeem, but yeah, I do like Sakai too. Like he's a good fucking up and coming underrated fighter. Like he is, man.
Yeah, so Augusto Sakai, like I said, we had him against Ivanov. Prior to that, he knocks out Tabura quick. Prior to that, he wins, which, a disputed decision against Andrei Arlovsky. Overeem, to me, if he was going to lose to a guy at this caliber, I think it would have been the last fight. I think he would have got knocked out by Walt Harris. And prior to that, he was beating up Rosenstruck. Yeah, he got knocked out with 5 seconds left, but he was beating him up pretty good.
Yeah, he was fucking doing really good.
Until Overeem loses to this caliber fighter, I'm going to take Overeem. This is a 5-round fight. Overeem went 5 rounds just 2 fights ago with Rosenstruck. Like you said, he used takedowns. So he used some takedowns, took him down, beat him up on the feet. Was not really beat him up, but he's a world-class kickboxer. Sakai's more like he does he's not even like super quick with his hands, but he's just more like a boxer with his hands, how he goes in and out.
His kicks are really good, his calf kicks.
But I mean, I don't know. He's just because against Ivanov, I thought he was going to easily win that fight. And it was just so close where is he good enough to beat a guy like Overeem? But again, if Overeem's chin shot, but his chin shouldn't be shot because he just took not a beating, but he got clipped bad by Walt Harris. And then second round starts, he flips the switch, and then he put Walt Harris out bad. For me, it's Overeem. Overeem, we know what he can do. He can clinch. He can get you down. He can beat you up on the ground, beat you up standing. Maybe the only way I think Sakai wins, I don't even think it would
decision.
Yeah, and I don't even think
his cardio is good, man. It's underrated. He's like a fucking runner.
Yeah. I mean, he's gone 3 rounds, in the UFC a couple times. I just don't see him doing enough to really like beating up Overeem, like where he's beating up Overeem. I can see Overeem beating up Sakai and more clearly winning the rounds.
And that's what throws me off, dude, is because as much as I like Sakai, I mean, all his wins are sneaky, like.
Yeah, it's just like the guy we saw who's getting knocked out left and right. The guy they brought from PFL. What was his name? He's supposed to be good with his hands, quick with his hands. He got knocked out by Tanner Bozer his last fight. I can't think of his name. You know the guy. They brought him in from PFL. He was a minus 250 favorite against Arlovsky. Arlovsky knocks him out. This isn't the same type thing because Overeem, Arlovsky didn't knock him out. Arlovsky decisioned Bozer knocked him out. This isn't the same type of guy, but I'm not going against Overeem.
I will say Ivanov is a fucking beast, though. Like
Ivanov can take shots for days.
He can take shots that Overeem probably can't. But man, I'm torn on this, dude. I mean, fuck, I want to take the dog money because I have a sneaky feeling Sakai is gonna win, but I'm not gonna bet this, but I will put out a pick of Overeem. I'm just gonna go with him, like you said. He's won 4 or 5. He's on a streak. This is his last run. He knows that shit. I mean, Sakai's only 29. He's got plenty of fucking more time to grow. 15-1 record. He needs to get some more experience in there. This is probably the biggest fight. I mean, obviously, he's ever fucking had as far as competition wise. And he doesn't throw enough volume. Let's just fucking be honest, dude. He's gonna have to straight up knock Overeem out because he's not going to outwork the dude. I just don't see it. So I'm going Overeem.
Yeah. I think Overeem gets it done too. So we can move on here to our best bet. I'm going to go with, I think I'm actually going to go with Romanov. I'm going to take Alexander Romanov. I think he gets Lima down, beats him up. I like your over 1.5. The plus 130 looks good too. But yeah, I think Romanov can control him enough, beat him up, win the fight. Minus 145. You're not laying a ton of juice. Maybe it goes up even more tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to go with Romanov. 9-fight card. Pretty tough to pick, but that's where I'll go.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that too, man. But if not, I'm going to take Minifield. Romanov, Minifield are my two. And then I was going to throw in the parlay with the 3-team and add Muniz in there. And let's see what that pays. Because I think Muniz is a very solid dog. Jalen Turner could be a good dog, but that's so iffy to me. Kelleher, I mean,
because my deal with the Jalen Turner fight, if he gets taken down and subbed out in round 1, you're just gonna like throw your headphones. It's just like this shit again.
So you're getting plus 602. I mean, that's a fucking good deal for $100.
For who?
For Romanov, Minifield, and Andre.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. So yeah, that's on. Nice segue here. That's on mybookie.ag. If you guys want that plus 602 on Romanov, Andre Muniz, and Alonzo Menifield, go to mybookie.ag. Enter promo code PubSports. Deposit a minimum $99. You'll get 50% if you deposit that $99 on debit or credit, and you'll get a 100% bonus match with Bitcoin. So yeah, go to mybookie.ag. You can put that parlay in. We might be doing that. We'll see. You got to watch us tomorrow with Flip That Cash. But Jeff.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We put in our 500 Bitcoin because they give us another 5. So we're getting $1,000 basically. I mean, every time we need to. That's not the point. We don't want to. We don't want to load up. We want to win. So we've done pretty good. Our quote is Flip That Cash. We take 500. We try to flip it to 10K. We've gotten up to 4,900 and blew it all on 39 was to Minifield. No, I mean, we could go down and tell you all our losses.
Yeah, we got Billy saying Overeem's 0-4-1 in September. Yeah, but who was he?
I saw that stat.
Who was he fighting in September prior to Sakai? I know he fought Stipe in September. So I mean that's a reputable loss. Like that's not a big deal. Like
this is a big win for Augusta, man. If he wins this, bro, I mean this is gonna put him right up there because the dude is solid. Like I've never seen him get fucking really rattled in there. I just haven't. So it's going to be interesting, man, see where he's at more than Overeem. I know where Overeem's at, I think. Augusto's the big question.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, to me, I guess it makes sense if they want to build Sakai up, but for me, I would have rather given Overeem a little bit more of an established name, but he's not, the problem is Overeem's not going to beat the top 3 Stipe, Blades, or who's there? Francis. He's not going to beat the top 3. So
I don't know, man. I wouldn't say never. Not in MMA.
yeah, I mean, it could happen, but he'd be a pretty big dog to all 3 of those.
Yeah, he would for sure. But
so Derek Anthony agrees with us on something, Derek. So that's awesome. Thanks, Derek, with that. Yeah, so we hit mybookie.ag. Jeff's best bet is Menifield.
And yeah, I'm gonna play Menifield, Romanov, and then the 3-team parlay. I like all those.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with Romanov. And if you guys want to chill out while you watch the fights tomorrow, visit our buddies at Natural Heights. They're located at 1880 Nacogdoches Road. If you suffer from stress, anxiety, joint pain, PTSD, or insomnia, stop over there. CBD oil, new wave. People are using it. CBD, Natural Heights. Phone number 210-592-1060. Jeff just said it. Mybookie.ag. He's going to put that parlay in. Promo code Pub Sports.
Hit that like and subscribe button for us, guys. We really appreciate y'all hanging out.
Yeah, 15 people in the chat. If you guys could all give us a like, give us a subscribe.
We're actually going to be in Vegas next week doing some live shows from there. But Mo, join us tomorrow for prelims. Mo, Scream, and Boston Nick will be here with their gang, their crew. And then we come in for the main card, to place our real money bets. And I got to say real money bets now because a lot of people out there don't place real money bets anymore. So we show all our tickets, and that's kind of the cool thing about us is if we lose, we're honest. If we win, we're honest.
Yeah, locker room.
No lies here, man.
Yeah, locker room. You're going to be live with Mo and Nick, I believe, for the prelims. So make sure to join locker room. Mo, Nick, they're going to be live in the prelims. And yeah, make sure to join us tomorrow. That's the fights. We got the Kentucky Derby. We'll be live. Retama, San Antonio, Texas for the Derby. Coming back, fights, huge day of sports, NBA, UFC, hockey playoffs, everything is going on. Keep tuned in, like, subscribe, share this video. Pub Sports Radio, that's where we're at. That's where you should be at. Join us tomorrow night. We'll see you there. This was Talkin Hands. Have a good one, guys.
Later, guys.